Minister of Industry, International Business, Commerce and Small Business Development, Donville Innes, is pleased with the report this week from the Central Bank. Minister Innes says it is positive news about the state of foreign reserves.
I took note of the Central Bank report this week, which to my mind contained quite a bit of positive news in the fact that our foreign reserves position have really stabilized over the last couple of months, and we are on a trajectory for a bit of growth, albeit small growth. But I keep saying that while that is good news, there's absolutely no need for complacency. You know, as a parliamentary representative, what is critical for me is how my constituents are doing.
The Commerce Minister says that light is beginning to be seen at the end of the tunnel for this financial year.
It is only going to happen if government and the private sector continue to work closer together, if we really redouble our efforts to ensure that we become far more efficient, that we keep our expenditures under control at the state level, and that we do what is necessary to ensure we boost revenue and expand business activities in the private sector.
President of the Barbados Economic Society, Jeremy Stevens, says actual implementation of planned and outstanding projects will determine whether Barbados is able to see positive economic growth this year. He was responding to the most recent report on the economy by the Central Bank Governor, Dr. Delisle Worrell, and said planned major construction projects will be especially key.
The $150 million that they quoted for in construction, resulting in the 1% increase in the construction sector activity, right? That would have come from mainly one project. While if you remember during the last fiscal year, during this fiscal year really, you would have heard talk about several projects that were supposed to come on stream. So we have a track record of delaying, probably by a year after announcing. And since we spoke about the Chinese project, the project down in town, Wyndham I think it is, and others, just given the history doesn't really dictate the future, but just given recent history, I don't believe that the projects will come fully on stream in terms of construction during the first 9 months of the next fiscal year.
Mr. Stevens says Barbadians will therefore have to wait and see what actually manages to get off the ground on schedule.
If they do, thank you. Best thing to have ever happened in the short run of this country, right? In terms of kickstarting some form of growth. But if those do not happen, because construction was the largest contributor to that 0.3% the central bank is reporting. If that doesn't happen, let's assume just half the money comes in. Then you could expect, just given the performance, the supposed performance this fiscal year, or at least the first 9 months of the fiscal year, last 3 months of the last fiscal year, one could expect that maybe we would grow 0.3%, and that's the number I'm willing to go with right now conservatively.
Here's a look now at how the stocks performed locally and regionally.
BHL